check. You can give message in WhatsApp also because we मैंने screen presentation mode पर डाला ना तो मुझे chat window नहीं दिखेगा. So okay, so we are starting now. The slide is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So good morning and thank you for joining. So as we know that upskilling is important, so for that we have taken this initiative. So we will discuss one by one each topic on Sunday, and as much as we can cover, we'll try to cover it. Right. So if any doubt, you can ask in between also, and after this session also you can ask. Right. So let's start. So the FDA guidance for industry that size, shape, and other physical attributes of generic tablets and capsules. So this is the size shape guidance. So you must have heard about it. Let me discuss and just read it line by line. So generic formulation are required to be both pharmaceutically and therapeutically equivalent to RLD. Agency was concerned that difference in the physical characteristic, that is size and shape of the tablet or capsule, may affect patient compliance and acceptability. So recommended that generic drug manufacturer consider physical attribute during development of quality target profiles for their generic products candidate. What it means that first thing, why guidelines came in picture. See, every guidelines came in picture because of some motive, some initiative. So what was this initiative? That agency feels that the size shape is also important part of the development, and if generic product will differ in size and shape of the in the size shape from the RLD, then it may compromise the therapeutic equivalence of that. So it may compromise the therapeutic efficacy of the generic product, and based on that, the patient compliance will be compromised. So for that, they bring this guideline in the platform, and their purpose of bringing this guideline is that generic developer also mention this size shape factor in their QTPP also. So they will target the size shape also. So this guidance came in effective in 2015, and when it came in effective, then it is mentioned that it will be not applied to the already approved ANDAs because they are already approved, they are already in the market, as well as chewable tablets, oral tablet for suspension, oral disintegrating tablets, sublingual tablets, pouches and gums. Why? Because in these doses form, patient do not have to intake it, do not have to pellet it. So Shaisha will not affect. So that's why they are not applying those dosage forms. Okay. So this is the brief about the why the guideline came, when came, and where it will apply, where it will not apply. Coming to the next slide, consequences of difference in the size, shape of RLD and generic drug products. So size. What may happen if the generic product will not follow the size shape similar to the RLD? What will happen if due to the difference in size, patient non-compliance may be observed to treatment regimen in patient population having dysphagia. So dysphagia means everybody knows that difficulty in swallowing, right? So if the size of the generic product is not equivalent to the size of the RLD, then patient non-compliance may happen because if size is more, then it will be difficult to swallow. If patient already have dysphagia, then he will not swallow properly. Not swallow properly, then uh, some therapeutic benefit he cannot get. It may be it can vomit, it can add it to the esophagus. Something may happen because of the patient compliance will be compromised. So for that, size is important. Size and shape of tablet and capsule affect the transit of the product through the pharynx and esophagus. Larger tablets and capsules have prolonged esophageal transit time, so lead to disintegration of the product in the esophagus and or cause injury to the esophagus along with the other serious side effects. If tablet size is more larger, if it is more larger than the RLD, right now. So when comparative study we'll see now, so the generic product when patient will take, it will feel difficulty in the palpitation. Then it will again affect the transit of the product. It may adhere to the esophagus and may disintegrate there only, or may lead some other thing which may cause injury. Or if it will not cause injury, it will must cause the patient non-compliance. So for that size of tablet, agency understood that it is very important and should be followed. Some regulation should be given so that size of shape can be controlled by the generic manufacturer. Okay. Other the size of the tablet or capsule influence esophageal transit. Like so, some studies tell that if round the tablet is round and its size is more than 8 mm, then it will be difficult to palatable. A round tablet having size less than 8 mm is easy to palatable. A round tablet having tablet size more than 8 mm is difficult to palatable. So some studies are showing that. So based on that, they made a regulation so that generic manufacturer will remain very similar to the RLD, as well as the shape of the tablet is also controlled. It should be either more palatable or similar to the RLD. Like that, they made this in this guidance. They make the regulation. For shape also, they said that flat tablets having great adherence. Based on the study, flat tablets have great adherence then in compared to the capsule shape. What it means, the capsule shape and oval shape are more palatable in compared to flat or round tablets. Okay. Studies in also suggested that oval tablets may be easier to swallow than round tablet of the same weight. So what it means that oval tablets are more easy to palatable than compared to the round tablet. Second thing is patient factor. See, geriatric patient, pediatric patient, all means have difficulty in swallowing, right? So patient factor also there. Because of that, palatability will not feasible, and that may cause patient incompliance. But for patient factor as a formulator, we can't do anything. But yes, for size and shape, we can do something. So that's why this guidance is to control how to control the size and shape of the your generic products in comparison to the RLD. So apart from size and shape, some other factors are also which may affect the palatability, like coating. So as we know that film coating can make tablet surface smooth. So if tablet surface is smooth, then it will be easily palatable and the transit time will be easy in compared to uncoated tablets. So that's why if already have a coating, then we should also go with the coating only. So also coating composition is also important, because if coating composition can result in any swelling or something like that, then it may also affect. So the presence and composition of a coating can also potentially affect the ease of swallowing. The lack of the film coating can decrease or prevent tablet mobility compared with the coated tablet of the same size and shape. Right. So coating also is an important plays an important role, making tablet palatable by masking its smell and taste. Okay, so coating also can affect other factors that contribute to the patient acceptance, such as palatability and smell. Also, the weight of the tablet. The weight of the tablet or capsule also may affect transit time. For example, that higher that those weight is more, that they have faster transit time compared to the similarly sized lighter tablet or capsule. So, coating, film coating, or whatever coating it is, that will affect the transit time. Apart from that, coating may also mask the taste and smell, so that also may affect palatability. Weight of tablet is also important factor, because if we have to keep weight similar to the reference product. Why? Because weight also may affect the transit time. Okay. Then surface area, disintegration time, and propensity of swelling when swallowed are additional parameters that can influence esophageal transit time and have the potential to affect the performance of the drug product for its intended use. So apart from the sizing shape, that cooking part, right, the weight part, surface and weight is somewhere related to the surface area. The surface area part, for surface area only we check the volume, right? So to address the surface area and propensity of swelling part, we check the volume, right? So these part are also important and to be addressed during development should be part of your QTPP while developing a product, right? Now, what is the actual guidance? These are the background that why guidance came, because agency feels that size and shape may also result into the patient in compliance. So for that only this guidance they bring this guidance. Apart from that, they discuss how size and shape can affect patient palatability. Okay, then apart from size and shape, the coating part, the surface area part, the propensity of swelling part, the weight of the tablet or capsule part, these may also affect the palatability. So these are also discussed in brief. Then what guidance they propose? So regarding size, what they said that if RLD is less than 17 mm in its largest dimension, the generic product should be first not no more than 20% larger than the RLD in any single dimension. The resulting single dimension of the generic should not exceed 17 mm. Okay, no more than the 40% larger than the volume of the RLD. What it means, first we have to check the RLD. If RLD size is less than 17 mm, is in its larger dimension, whatever dimension, length, breadth, width, whatever checking. If any of the dimension is 17 mm, less than 70 mm, whatever the largest dimension is there, it is less than 17 mm, then we have some liberty. We can increase our generic the product size by 20%, and we our volume can also be more, can be no more than the 40%. So this liberty we have only when RLD in its larger dimension should be less than 17 mm. But when we are increasing the 20% our size, then it should not be increased the 17 mm. What I mean that you can increase 20% from the RLD, but it should not be increased more than 17 mm. It should be within 17 mm. So this is the first part. Second part, if RLD is equal to or greater than 17 mm, again, if RLD is equal to or greater than 17 mm in its largest dimension, the generic product should be no larger than the RLD in any single dimension, no larger than the volume of the RLD. Okay, so only 2 points are there. First, when RLD is less than 17 mm. Second, when RLD is equal to 17 mm or more than 17 mm. Then you don't have any flexibility. You should keep your dimension similar to the RLD, or you can keep somewhat less also. So this is the guidance. Okay. In the second case, when RLD is more than 17 mm, then you have no liberty in case of volume also. That volume should be less than or equal to the RLD. Okay. What agency recommend that in no case, means in no case the for tablet the size should be exceed from the 22 mm, and for capsule size should not exceed more than standard size of 00 size. So based on the studies, based on the recommendation, based on the literature, what they observed, that if tablet is 22 mm, then it can be palatable, and capsule is 00 size, then it can be palatable. So that's why they recommended. So if RLD is more than this, then you can go for with same approach. But they recommended that in no case, your tablet size should exceed 22 mm, and your capsule size may exceed to the 00 size. Okay. Now this is the part when tablet is more larger. When difference for tablet is less than 8 mm or smaller in their largest dimension, then you have flexibility. You can make somewhat uh, small tablet also, somewhat bigger tablet also. But agency said that effort should be made to develop tablets and capsules that are of similar size and shape to the RLD. Though if RLD is less than 8 mm, guideline recommends that you have flexibility then, but still they not force, they recommended that you should keep always your size and shape similar to the RLD, so that therapeutic benefit, patient compliance should not be compromised. For that, they recommend you should be similar to the reference product, as similar as possible. Okay. Then in case of the capsule, so in case of the capsule, they define two criteria. First, size 3. If RLD capsule is size 3 or smaller, okay, size 3, size 4, size 5, then you can increase one capsule size without any justification. Okay. If RLD capsule is size 2 or larger, okay, if RLD capsule is of size 2 or larger, then also you can increase one capsule size. If RLD is size 2, you can easily go to the size 1. Right now, if it is size 1, you can easily, if it is uh, size 1, you can also increase the size 0. You can increase the one size. That is not an issue. But if it is size 2 or larger, then you want to increase one size, then you have to provide a justification. Means why you are increasing one size. Your weight is different. Why your weight is different. Your strategy is different. Your BD is different. Your API is also different. You can make any justification that my blend is BD for to fill this capsule. To fill this much of blend in the capsule, I require this size. You can provide the justification, but if it is already size 3, then you are increasing one size, no justification required. If already size 2 or larger, then you increasing one size, then justification is required. But in no case, your capsule size should be means more than 00. What it means, above recommendation to increase capsule size will allow when the capsule size is less than 00. So up to 00, you can increase. Means if it is already is 00, then you should not increase. You should keep same size only. Okay. So the agency recognized that the two drug products may have different recommended upper size limits, but size should be considered as a part of single product risk benefit profile. When establishing therapeutic equivalence, the applicant should compare their generic product only to the RLD. What this line means actually, what it means that whenever you are developing a product, so that RLD only you have to check. So it may possible for some X product the maximum size will be 19 mm, and for some Y product the maximum size is 17 mm. but it does not give you flexibility that my Y product is RLD is 17 mm, but X product RLD is 19 mm, so I can make my generic product 19 mm. So this flexibility is not there. If you have to follow your RLD only, and based on your RLD, you have flexibility or you don't have flexibility of deciding size of your generic drug product. So it is very clear by the guideline here only, right? Then shape, as we discussed earlier also, that flat tablets were difficult to swallow. Flat tablets were difficult to swallow because of adherence in the esophagus or pharynx, right? So shape is also plays an important role. So agency recommends that tablets, generic products have a similar shape or have a shape that has been found to be easier to swallow compared with the shape of the RLD. What it means, if RLD is round, then you can make your tablet oval because it is more palatable. First practice should be it should be similar to RLD, but if any because of any n number of reasons you want to go with the oval shape, you can go with the oval shape because oval shape is more palatable. But if RLD is oval and you want to go with the round shape, then it will be not possible because the round shape is not that much palatable in compared to the oval shape. Evaluating and comparing the largest cross-sectional area of the RLD and Jellypod is one strategy to quantify changes in the shape. By showing the largest cross-sectional area, you can justify your shape. Tablets and capsules that have a larger cross-sectional area, that is, tablets that are rounder, would generally be a more difficult to swallow than the tablets or capsules of the same volume but with a smaller cross-sectional area. What it means that if your dosage form have larger cross-sectional area, it will be difficult to swallow. If your dosage form have smaller cross-sectional area in compared to the RLD, then it will be easy to swallow. So based on that, you can provide the justification, right? But your approach should be like that. You should keep shape similar to the RLD. First point. Second point, if you want to change the shape because of n number of reasons, you should be adopt the shape which is more palatable. Okay, so this is the recommendation. Other physical attributes like tablet coating, weight, surface area, disintegration time, and propensity of swelling should be considered when developing a QTPP for generic tablets. Right? These are the other physical attributes which we discussed earlier. Also, that coating will also impact the palatability. Weight may also impact. Surface area is also important. DD is also important, and propensity of swelling means the tablet have a tendency of swelling or not during the storage or something like that. That also should be considered within the QTPP while developing a generic drug product. Right? So this is all about the guidelines. So two, three important points are there. So that should be considered right from the beginning, right from deciding your QDBP, right? Then how can you measure the volume? What are the techniques? So volume can be measured by using picnometers or calculation based on the physical measurement of tablet or dye used to the produce the tablet. By physical calculation, by considering your tablet as a cylinder or a sphere or circle, you can calculate the volume, right? Or by using a picnometer also, you can calculate the volume. But what guidance recommends that spatial imaging or computer-aided model to be used to accurately predict the volumes right now. Or this model or any other method also you can use, but it should be properly validated. Okay. So why this size and volume required? Because the size of the tablet or capsule should be provided in the CTD format in the section 3.2.3.1. Agency may request samples for the evaluation for physical attribute of tablet or capsule. So this size, surface area, volume calculation will be a part of your dossier submission, right? Agency clearly mentioned that. And if agency have any concern or any justification they require, they may request sample also to check the size and volume and surface area, right? So what all this discussion means, it means that if you are comfortable, if your RLD is less than 17 mm, you are going similar to the RLD, then you can use some method like physical calculation also to provide the size, provide the volume, to provide the surface area of your doses from your generic drug product. But if it is a cut-to-cut margin, for example, if RL is more than 17 mm and you are also nearby it, then better to go with the spatial imaging or CADD technique to calculate the volume, surface area, because it will be generate more reliable data, more presentable data, more accurate data. Okay, and this data is going in the submission, so data is important. So from day one, when you are deciding your QTPP, size, shape, and the other physical attribute, what we discussed, should be a part of your QTPP, should be your own target points. Okay. So this is about the size shape guideline. If any question you can ask. Hello, hello. Your voice is not coming.
Hello.
Yeah,